Hello, everybody. So we're back with the rest of the signs. I already did Aries through Sagittarius, and this video is going to be for Capricorn rising and Aquarius and Pisces. For this new moon in Pisces, that's on the 27th, and where that's going to be falling. Okay, so starting with Capricorn rising, you guys having this transit in your third house, it suggests that there's new beginnings in your communication, your learning, your social interactions with others. And then you have an increased drive in your relationship department with expansion in work and health related matters. So this is involving not just the new moon in Pisces, but Mars direct in Cancer, and then, of course, Jupiter in Gemini. So we're going to go over all of it. First, starting with the new moon in your third house. This is bringing fresh new starts to the way you learn and communicate to others. The dynamic of communications, and it could strengthen or change your relationships to people once this shift in your communication really starts happening. Like if you feel that there's some connections in your life that you never really get full understanding of, the next 6 months is going to be a time where you make it a goal to work on clarifying whatever confusion you have within those relationships, within those connections. But mainly to your close network, right? This can also be a fresh start in perhaps, let's say you have a dream to write your own book or make something on social media, start something. This could be the next 6 months where you just do all the things needed to get there. Or you start that process of that new project you're going to embark on. So bringing all those ideas into reality so that you can really make it happen for yourself. Then with Mars in Cancer being in your 7th house, so the retrograde Mars there must have been kind of a pain in the ass, I would imagine, because there's probably a lot of like ruminating, brooding kind of like feelings that you were keeping down, or maybe you've been feeling that about other people towards you, because that's another thing too, is the 7th house represents others from yourself. So not necessarily yourself. So perhaps you've been feeling that others were doing that to you. And now that it's direct, this is going to bring more assertiveness in those areas. So people will probably be more assertive to you. They're going to take action now, and more passion there. But keep in mind that it could also bring some tension along with it as well, because of that warring type of Mars energy. But on the bright side, it makes relationships more passionate, more active, more alive. So emotions will be very heightened. You could also attract more assertive partners into your life. So if you're not with someone, then you can come across somebody who is the very dominant type of individual, very protective, leadership type. This is also the time when it goes direct to take decisive action in love and business partnerships. So taking it to the next level of addressing how you really feel, and then finding solutions to any problems that are there. Yeah, but just be mindful of the the war type energy that could also be present. Then with Jupiter and Gemini in your 6th house, all about work, health, daily routines, service habits, all that fun stuff, bringing luck into those areas. So career growth, more opportunities. But it could also be too much stuff as well. Like maybe you felt like there were too many things being put on your plate, since Jupiter loves to expand things. Regardless, though, it should bring some more optimism back. I think if it was when it was retrograde, I feel like that would have been the case. But now that it's direct, I think it's going to be more of a optimistic kind of vibe there and more stimulating again for you. So now let's look at the transits interactions together. Well, new moon in the 3rd, working alongside Mars in the 7th. That creates important conversations in your relationships, right? So be on the lookout for that. How you might be redefining the way you communicate to others, making significant decisions together. And then with Mars and Jupiter, work and relationships are intertwined. So there's a focus on your business partnerships there. Combo of the moon with Jupiter, though. Yeah, same thing as I was saying before. New learning opportunities. Okay, so overall interaction, though, this is a period for increased energy in your relationships, paying attention to growth at work and health-related matters. Don't be afraid to express yourself more clearly to others. Deal with the important conversations that you need to have in your partnerships and take advantage of the new opportunities that come your way in career or health-related subjects. But balancing your emotions within your relationships while staying productive is really the key to the entirety of the transit together. All right, so now we are on Aquarius rising. Aquarius, you guys are going to have a new financial beginning with increased drive in your work and your health, expansion in creativity, romance, and pleasure. So this new moon in Pisces is in your 2nd house that deals with money, your personal resources, your self-worth, all that stuff, your values. So there's some kind of fresh start there, some new financial opportunity that can come your way. And reevaluating your confidence, right? You have Pluto there right now. So this new moon in Pisces is giving you that opportunity to set a goal on how you can make sure not to forget your self-worth, because you're going to go through ups and downs. You're going to have those doubts every now and then. And you're not the only one. Everybody has those doubts. It's just human to experience that, no matter who you are. So it's really a great time for you to reflect on all the things that you love about yourself and what parts of you do you feel are like, how do I word this properly? For example, the cons. When you write down the cons, think to yourself, okay, I'm just human, but how can I improve this? How can I make this better, right? So that I don't feel this way. That's what I would say the new moon is really good for. And then letting go of financial fears or limiting beliefs, because that's like the law of attraction. You're going to attract that negative vibe, if you are thinking that way. So, how do you let go of those limiting beliefs? Maybe you want to invest in more spiritual practices or a spiritual hobby. Perhaps you set a goal to go on like a spiritual retreat within the next 6 months, because then that would go in line with the theme here of this new moon, this fresh new beginning of self-worth and your value. What would add value to your life? And at the same time, just kind of going over your finances and all that kind of stuff, making sure everything is set. Mars in Cancer, now direct, is in your 6th house. So that's an increased energy in running your errands. This is kind of what I visualize. It's like, I envision an Aquarius just like hustling and just in a rush, like has so many things on their list that they need to take care of. And maybe when it was retrograde before, it was more of a drag and it was more draining. But now it's like, okay, I got that energy back. I can take care of all this shit now. That's kind of what I envision. But it's also about your health matters as well. So perhaps getting inspired to start a new workout routine, a new diet, wellness practice. Just keep in mind that Mars direct can also bring about the warring type of energy. And since the 6th house also concerns coworkers and, those fun things, just be mindful of emotional reactions. Then Jupiter in Gemini in your 5th house. That is also direct now, which is awesome. Perhaps you feel like your energy drives are back. When it was retrograde, it felt like a creative block. And I think I mentioned this in a previous video that I did. But yeah, before it was like, it felt stagnated, like something was in the way, like blocking it. And now it's like you're starting to get more of those creative juices flowing again, which feels nice. And it's starting to just really flow. Perhaps these things are related to writing as well, media, communication-based projects, because it's in Gemini, right? So it can also increase your social life as well, or your enjoyment in social settings. Opportunities related to having children. So if you want to have a kid, this is the best time. It's direct. Take advantage of the remainder of this transit and definitely have fun with it too. So playfulness, joy, all that good stuff. Go with the combo between the new moon in the 2nd with Jupiter in your 5th for the next 6 months. That's what I would say. A new project that you want to bring to fruition through your creativity. Something that makes you feel alive, something that makes you feel good about yourself. Invest in that. Set an intention on that. Or having a more childlike experience, like looking through a childlike view. I think that comes natural to majority of Aquarius risings anyway, or any Aquarius placement for that matter. Speaking from sun sign and Mercury in Aquarius here. So, all right, so Pisces rising. Well, this moon is all about you, Pisces. It's in your 1st house. It's this personal transformation of you and your drive in creativity and romance, fun, pleasures of all kinds, expansion in home and family matters. With this being in your first house, it's your identity, it's your physical body, it's your personal goals, how you present yourself to the world. It's a brand new chapter in how you express yourself. So it makes you more sensitive, even though you're already sensitive as it is. But this new moon is like birthing a new dimension of that, right? It's a new dimension, new paradigm of that, where you're more in tune with your emotions versus confused. Let's just say that. You could possibly have a desire to change your appearance within the next 6 months, or completely, like, you're evolving your identity. So you want that to reflect in your wardrobe, right? So that could happen. Letting go of the old versions of yourself, not allowing yourself to be tied to those old identities of you. Really allowing yourself to detach from what no longer serves you anymore, what you don't want to be connected to anymore. Perfect time to do that. But it's really powerful for you because this is deeply connected to your persona, and the first house affects all areas of your life. When you have a new moon there, that is literally touching base on every single house in your chart. A new experience in every avenue is being touched, healed. So let's see about Mars, though. Mars in Cancer in your fifth. So it's still a lot of fun, right? It's creativity, romance. You could have an increase in more suitors, perhaps, leading to excitement or heated emotions. Either way, feeling a strong drive to pursue creative projects that could be tied to nostalgia, your emotions. You may feel more you will feel a heightened desire to take risks in love or artistic endeavors. When it was retrograde, that was a time where you would kind of contemplate about those things and you would be less likely to jump at risks. But now that it's direct, and just be careful though, is that's why I'm really pointing this out, because you definitely want to be careful and cautious at the same time, because that could lead to bad places too. Got to keep in mind that the North Node is still in your sign and Neptune is still there. So just be mindful of that. But on the bright side, this is great for sports, physical activity, creative projects where you need to get those creative juices flowing, being inspired, being playful and stuff. So I would definitely say maybe get more physical. Get more physical. Okay, so that totally died. This thing here, it was dead. So, oh, yeah. So I have to redo the rest of it. Okay. So I left off on Jupiter in Gemini, and that is in your fourth house. I actually did a video about it already, but you can go check it out if you want to. You don't have to, but I'll just give you a very brief lowdown here. So Jupiter and Gemini in your fourth house, the whole time that Jupiter's been there, it's probably been giving you this desire to want to look into your family lineage, to check out your ancestry, your all that kind of stuff, things related to your past and your home life and all that. So when it was retrograde, it must have felt like maybe there were some misunderstandings in the home, or perhaps there was this stagnated feeling, like you just felt like, or if you were working on renovating something, maybe you felt like, oh, I keep running into problems, or maybe there's things in the house that kept breaking or just not working out. There's so many different possibilities that could have happened, but those are just the main things I could possibly think of. But now that it's direct motion, it's like there's more of a flow, there's more optimistic, there's more support there. So it's more of a supportive feeling there for you, whether it be looking for a new house, fixing home related issues, or um, healing old family issues with your family members. And then I'll just go over the combinations and transits here. So with the new moon and Mars together, it's like this bold, expressive, ready to take action kind of feeling for you. Like I said, though, just be careful with delusions, be careful with taking risks that have higher consequences. You've got Neptune there still, you've got the North Node there still. It's just be careful. And I'll also say this too, whatever risk you take, it's going to have some kind of impact on your identity and your persona. So always keep that in mind, because it's beautiful when it's direct. Yes, there's more energy there, but then there's also some pitfalls if you're not aware. Then with the combo of Mars in your fifth and Jupiter direct in the fourth, it is about learning to balance your love and creativity, wanting to just like go get something that you've been desiring for a while. But you have to balance that out with your responsibilities at home, all those types of things. And then, of course, the combo with the new moon and Jupiter, it's really a personal transformation of you. And it's the time that you recognize that you're connected to your ancestors and you feel it. You actually feel it deep within you, that connection to them, whether they're here or not. Jupiter is a spiritual planet. It is in the house of your ancestors, the fourth house of home. And you have this new moon in your first house that transforms your identity. It is a new start to become who you've always wanted to be. And it is tied to your family. It is tied to your roots, where you come from. So it's truly a very beautiful energy there for you, especially after having so many planets and points that have been just congested in your sign. There's just been so many things going on for you, I bet. Overall interpretation, though, of those energies flowing for the next 6 months, it's about a powerful time with your personal renewal, like I said, a feeling that you are ready to just transform yourself, to redefine who you are, to let go of the old personas you've had, detaching yourself from those. You no longer identify with those things. You are a new person now. You don't need to let those things drag on with you. And then pursuing your creative passions, bringing about positive changes in your life with the help of Jupiter, the drive from Mars in your fifth house, and expressing yourself. Learning to express yourself authentically on a very deep emotional level that comes from your heart. So deep to a point where it almost feels like your ancestors are reincarnated within you. And that's how you really make home improvements. Like home improvements on the 3D realm, sure. But if you really want to talk about home improvements, it's improving the generational karma. You're restructuring, you're redefining the foundations of your lineage. And you know, we're all doing that, Pisces. All of us are, but we all have our moments in time. We all go through our own phases where it becomes the focal point. But this time, it is the focal point for you. Pisces is the last house. Pisces has seen it all. Pisces has been through all the houses. Pisces knows what it's like to die and be reborn. I hope you guys like this video. I am quite foggy today. My mind is just kind of tired, but like I said, I just wanted to make sure I got these out for you guys. And I just love astrology. It's just fun. I love astrology so much. It's truly a passion of mine. And mixing that together with the human experience and literally living my own life, but then connecting it with these things that I'm learning about astrology is what's truly amazing, because I can make those connections. And it's like an experiment. It's kind of fun, actually. When you really take a step back and you're doing like your own little test experiment. You're testing it out. You're testing the theory, right? So you got to use yourself for that in order for it to really work, because otherwise it's not going to be real for you. But so far, it's quite fascinating to me. It's quite real. I see it. I feel it. And I think that more people are starting to feel it as well. So that's exciting. All right. Well, have a good night.